There you go.
There I am. Hi.
Perfect. Perfect. So, Dani, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good as well. Thank you so much. Also, thank you so much for being here. It is super cool to have someone as super cool as you in this super cool day. So, before we start, I have to give you an epic proper welcome. So, if you have seen some of my episodes before, you know exactly what I'm about to do. If not, that's fine. Let me show you. Hey. Hey. Oh man, I love doing this. Never gets old. Never gets old. All right. So starting with the whole interview now, tell me how your acting career started.
Really, I've kind of been acting my entire life. I grew up in Philadelphia, and when I was in Philly, I went to the world-renowned Freedom Theater camp, and then I went to Performing Arts High School and putzed around New York for a little bit and decided to move to LA and really take a leap and do it for real.
Wow. I mean, I bet that it was super challenging, right? I mean, to leave home to this new city, you don't know anybody, and start from scratch, basically, right?
Yeah, it was actually very challenging. I'm very close to my family, my friends. So it was a big leap of faith to go somewhere where I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, I didn't want to live with any regrets, so I had to at least try it.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder, like, what were some of the challenges that you had when you recently started with your acting career?
Well, honestly, the biggest challenge is just trying to create a foundation for yourself. It's not even really about the acting. It's about life, trying to figure out how to live, manage everyday life things, and then on top of that, pursue a career. But once you have the foundation, then you can focus more on the art.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So in 2011, you were in Super Spree. Tell me, was that like your first short film? And what are some of the things that you learned from that first experience?
It was my first major short film that wasn't just a few friends hanging out and doing something. It was a really fun shoot. It was overnight in an actual grocery store. And it was my first time on an actual set. So I was very green. But yeah, I learned a lot about, I think probably the biggest thing I learned is that everything is hurry up and wait. So you rush to get makeup, you rush to get there, you rush to get everything, and then you just wait until it's your turn. And so you have to learn patience very quickly. Yeah. And not lose the energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I think like that those minutes before you go on set must be like anxious, but at the same time like you want to get it done like right now, but also you want to enjoy it every second of it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
That's so cool. And then in 2012, you were in several projects, such as Inside Room 334 and Jerry Scary. Tell me about your characters in those performances.
So these were the first things I did when I moved to LA.
Okay.
And Inside Room 334, I played basically the sister of the main character, and she was having a baby shower in a motel, and it was sort of like a peek hole what's going on, the drama that happened. And so it was a really clever idea, very unique. It was fun to be on set, and it's where I made some of my friends that I still have to this day, my first real LA friends. So it was a kind of a magical set for that reason. And then Jerry Scary's, that's my first time doing any sort of horror. Okay. And I played, just a party girl looking for a good time. Yeah. Picks up a guy, and it doesn't turn out so well for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, so cool. And what are some of the things, or like what do you usually do in order to prepare and play a character? Do you have like a specific technique, or like what is your process?
Well, I think everybody you go to school and you take classes and you learn a bunch of different techniques and just pull for what works for you. Yeah. And I think I use different things depending on the character, but no matter what, I always read the whole script first and then do sort of a character breakdown. What does my character really want throughout the entire project, movie, television show? What is my goal? Because that's where you're always going to operate from. Every truth, every decision comes from that main goal. And from there, you just further break things down. Also, when I'm going to go on stage or on set, I listen to music a lot. That helps me get into whatever mood I need to be in.
So cool. And do you have like a go-to song, or depending on the character, you will be creating like this playlist? Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on the character. What do I need to bring out in that character? Like if she's, she's a badass, I'll probably put on some DMX. If it's something sad, I'll put on something else. So it just depends.
It's so cool that's so cool. And what do you like the most about playing a character?
Really, it gets you outside of yourself. If you can get outside of your head, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And as someone who's very analytical, I overanalyze everything in life. It's nice to be able to get to that sweet spot where it's no longer about me, it's about the character.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so amazing. And also the fact that you get the chance to kind of get away from yourself a little bit and be somebody else for a while. I think that at the same time is very kind of a relaxing way to kind of put yourself in a chill zone, and to put somebody else so you can play it, and you will discover this world with this character that you created at the same time, and like returning to be you again once that's done. I mean, I would assume that it's kind of a refreshing feeling, right?
It is. It's sort of a respite. You get away from yourself a little bit. It ends up not being about you, so it's nice.
Totally. So between 2013 and 2015, you were involved in even a lot more projects, such as Under the Sun Restored, How Men Become Dogs, Yellow, Inner Demons, The Innership Games, and Key and Peele. Tell me, what are some of the things that you enjoy about those performances?
Well, getting to on Key and Peele was amazing. It's Key and Peele. I got to work with Keegan-Michael Key, which is so dope. He was really nice and sweet and just had great conversation. And at the time, I was also in a sketch group called Sissy Space Cats.
Okay.
So I was able to tell him some of the ideas we had that I had come up with. And he laughed and he liked them. So that just sort of validated me as an actor, So that experience was amazing. And How Men Become Dogs and Yellow, this was during the YouTube television show craze, where everybody was watching YouTube shows almost just as much, if not more, as they're watching actual television shows on TV. And so that was a really fun experience to be part of, and have people randomly on the street say, "Hey, were you in Yellow? Were you How Men Get Away with Dogs?" That was my first time having that experience, so it was pretty cool.
That's so amazing. And what do you think it's important for creating and playing a character? I think putting your ego aside is important. Okay. Like we were saying before, the sweet spot happens when it's no longer about you, it's about the character. Yeah. And I find when I trip over words, or if I can't really get into it, it's because I'm making it about me and not the character. So I think that's one of the biggest things you have to work on if you're going to be an actor. Yeah, totally. And what would you say is an important aspect for a character to be a relatable one?
I think all characters, even if it's comedy, they have to be grounded in some sort of reality. Mm-hmm. That's why comedy is the hardest, because these are absurd situations. So you want to live in this absurd space, but if you want people to really laugh, it's because they're relating to it. So it has to be very real to you, Yeah,
totally. Yeah, actually, like stand-up comedy, right? Whenever they will get like these stories and instantly you feel relatable. I think that is, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling as the audience to kind of feel relatable to that story, or if you're watching the show or movie or even a play, and feel relatable to this character, like this connection. I do think that is kind of a very cool feeling.
Absolutely. And even if it's a character like Dexter, he's a serial killer, but people relate to him. That's why they're able to watch him do this, kill people over and over again, right? It's because the actor didn't judge the character. They just figured out what the truth of the character is and played that.
Yeah, and it's so fun, and it's so funny whenever like with those characters and you feel relatable, and then you're like, am I like that person or something?
Like, oh.
yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. It means they did a good job.
Yeah, totally. And like I wonder, like how you usually prepare before going on set. So you just told me that you prepare, listen music or something. But do you have like a go-to meal before, or like what is your process before going on set?
Yeah, no, I just try to make sure I'm as prepared as possible, that I've done the work beforehand.
Okay.
That way, when you get on set, you can just forget all of that and it'll just come naturally, you know? So I think being as prepared as possible is really helpful. So you can get out of your head. And then, like I said before, depending on the scene and who the person is, I'll listen to music to get me in to the right headspace. But I think everybody has their own thing. For me, music is so visceral that it just immediately triggers emotions. It's whatever can get you to a certain emotional state.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like it also, I mean, the fact that you listen to music, it also improve your playlist, because you will be discovering like new artists here and there, right? Which is really cool.
Absolutely, it's all connected.
Yeah, and you were also in Dad Friends, Empower Pets, Girl Code, Jerky, the Bachelorette Party, Snowfall, Okay Stupid. I mean, the list goes on and on as well. But tell me about those projects, but also what are some of the characters that you have enjoyed the most playing?
Okay, let's see. You just said a bunch, and I'm trying to think of the names you said. Okay, let's see. In Okay Stupid, that was a web series we did. I played a character who's just kind of sassy and kind of the know-it-all, and kept the other two friends in check, which wasn't a stretch for me, but really fun to play. And let's see, what are the other ones that you mentioned? You said Okay Stupid. Now a few more.
Dad Friends, Empower Pads, Girl Code, Jerky.
Yeah, so a lot of these were short films and sketches that I was a part of. Jerky was a short film that a coworker and a friend actually created. It was a really touching one. I played the best friend of a man who died, and I came over to comfort his mourning husband, and also dog. And so it's just sort of a snippet of what that mourning process looks like. But it was really touching because it came out of his own story, something he's experienced. So I was kind of honored to be able to help bring that to life for him.
Wow. I mean, the fact that actors get the chance like to play, like the fact that you can get the chance sometimes to play very deep or very deep stories. I think also it is really, I mean, it's amazing, of course, but it also kind of makes you feel humble. You know what I mean? That like having the chance to play like those characters or those moments. I think also it helps you to kind of discover more about yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And helps, depending on what the storyline is, it helps you, reconnect with your own emotions about whatever trauma or whatever things that you've experienced,
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a whole other process that for example, some people would think, right, that acting it would be just learn your lines and that's it, And no, I mean, there's like this huge process, and you can tell also, like, whenever you will see like a movie or something, that the actor or the actress will put like so much effort on the character that instantly you have like this connection, or you care about the character regardless if it is a villain or not. I think that like when that happened, it's like a whole process that the actor did in order to kind of make it real, because we will have also sometimes this kind of a cardboard character, like if they died or something happened to them, you're like, whatever.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And sometimes, that's not on the actor. Sometimes that's on the edit. Actor could put a lot of work into a character, but the way it's edited down, it's edited in such a basic way that you don't get all the nuance that the actor tried to put in there. Yeah. So, sometimes the actor puts in work and the work ends up on the floor. But most actors, they even if it's a small role, they put in a lot of effort to give it nuance and depth.
Yeah, absolutely. And even sometimes the script, because it can happen sometimes that on this movie or show, whatever, like the character maybe not be so likable or like maybe people wouldn't care, but sometimes it is because the script didn't help at all. You know what I mean? So there's, as I said here, I mean, there's this huge process behind that us, the audience, we don't know about it. So the fact that we can know a little bit about it, it changed. Like literally, it changed the way you think, because you're like, oh, I get it now. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And like, I wonder, like, what would you think it's an important aspect for storytelling?
Oh, that's a hard question. What's an important aspect of storytelling? I think that it has to be authentic.
Okay.
I think that's an important part of storytelling. Even if it's fantasy, even if it's something that is not real, you know,
Yeah.
I think it has to be authentic to you, to your voice. As a writer, it has to be authentic to you and your voice. As an actor, you have to be able to find what's authentic in it for you. Because, you know, audiences are smart and they can tell when you're BSing through it, you know?
Yeah.
And those are the things that people just don't buy. They're like, I don't know, I don't buy it. It's because it's not an authentic story to anybody involved, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And what advice could you give to those who recently started acting?
I would say do as much as you can. I mean, take whatever roles that you feel comfortable with, of course, but just act, you know? So much of acting is an art form where you have to sort of ask permission to do your art. You have to be cast in order to do it. It's not like when you're a musician and you can just play, or, you know, when you're a writer, you can just write. Like, really, to be on set, to do it, you have to be asked to do it. So take as many opportunities as you can to just get in there and learn, because classes are very important, but there's nothing like being on set.
Yeah, I can agree on that. Wow. Now, if you could describe your career at the moment on a movie, TV show, or even a book, why not? What would be the title of it?
Does it have to be like a real book, or is this the name of my book?
Yeah, the name of your book, let's say.
Okay, I'm going to say the name that my mother decided the pilot of my life is going to be called. I don't necessarily agree with this, but I'm going to say it. She said, Danielle, I'm going to write a story about your life, and it's going to be called No Luck at All.
Okay.
Which sounds really depressing, but it's not. It's because it's not that I have bad luck. It's just I fight for what it's not, there's no luck involved. It's just everything I get, everything I do, I grind for, you know?
Yeah, but I like the title. It sounds deep, you know? It has like this attention, like, I like it.
Thank you. I'll tell her.
Yeah, totally. If at some point we know now that if at some point you're gonna make a book, you can return here and be like, oh yeah, there's a title here waiting.
There it was. Yep.
There we go. And like my last question here is, what can we expect from you in the future?
Well, I just signed with an amazing talent manager, A-list talent management, and she's getting me out there a lot. And so I've had some really amazing audition opportunities, and you're going to see a lot more of me. You know, look for me on television, look for me on the internet. I'm also working on a project with a friend. It'll be an animated television show for children. And so we're developing that right now with some people. So look for that as well. So hopefully you'll see me in front of the camera and behind the camera.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to see more of your work here. And I'm super sure that eventually we'll see you everywhere, which is super cool. That keep doing what you do. And as I said here, the fact that you moved from home to this new city, start from scratch, as I said, that takes a lot of courage, and that is super cool. And I think that those who are watching this now or later, you're basically the living proof that you can make it happen, but you have to make like a lot of hard work into it. So the fact that you're doing it is really cool, super inspiring. Keep doing what you do. As I said, super sure we will see you everywhere, basically. And
thank you so much. That's so kind of you.
Yeah. And also, I want to thank those who are watching. If you're watching this later on YouTube or on the podcast, sure that you're following Dani all over social media. Normally, what I would say is for you to put pause, then leave a like, subscribe super quick, and then hydrate, and then go follow Dani. Leave 1 million likes, share content, spread the word that we have this amazing talented actress, and then come back. And again, super thank you so much. Before I send you off,
thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for being here. And before I send you off, I need to send you off in a proper way. So, there you go.
I felt so regal.
Keep having an amazing rest of the day, an amazing week, and nothing but amazing things to you because you totally deserve them. And I'll see you next one.
Same to you. Bye.
All right, bye.